Hey folks, Stronghold Crafter Kev here. Welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to continue my Wizard's Keep work in progress, and I'm going to focus on the spikes that I put on the Merlons, and discuss more things about how the build's been going. So let's get to it. Alright, and here we go. Here is the Wizard's Keep in our work in progress, and I'm trying something a little bit different here. This is some natural light. You can see the how the shadows are playing with the camera here. No big deal, and it appears that I still don't have enough light here in the front to show off what I'm talking about. I'll try zooming in real quick. Yeah, this is not working. Alright. And ta-da! Here we go, more light. Now, what I was talking about was I did some changes here. The skulls all over the castle have been painted in a gunmetal gray, and as you can see in the way the light's coming off, they're a subtle highlight per se, especially when the shadow's there up in the tower. And hold on. Alright, and we got Mr. Pointer here. There we go. See that one up there, how it's a little bit more subtle as opposed to the ones here in the front. And you can barely see the one over there. Anyway, and of course there's a figure there for scale. And I have added some spikes to the Merlons. Whoop. Okay, let's put some more light on the subject here. Again, as I was saying, I have some spikes, spires on the tops of the Merlons on the towers, as well as the outer walls. So this is how this is turning out so far. Because of the different types of light we have going on here, it looks like a real muddy color, but actually this is burnt umber, and it has more of a rusty look to it. There's more red in there than you think, as opposed to just brown. Okay, so anyway, how about if we just do a close-up and we'll go from there. Okay, it was not so easy to get this in frame as I thought so bear with me here. Alright, and this is just a section of the Wizard's Keep on my workbench, of course. And this is what I was talking about right here. See how the skulls here are more of like in a shadow slightly from the indirect light. So you see them, yet they have that eerie look to them. And what I was going for a slightly weathered look, but not something too bright. And they're not, I think I pretty much achieved that. They're not too bright. At the same time, they are pretty much, they stand out, which is what I wanted to do. And you can see I fixed my little mistake of fitting them in, and they fit in just perfectly now. Anyway, you know, mistakes will happen, but as long as you learn from the mistakes and you can fix them, it's all part of the process. And now we've got two separate types of spikes as we're talking about here. Right here we have the toothpick styled spikes, and up here on the top of the Merlons of the towers we have some skewers, which are just, you know, basic skewer sticks, of course, and just like my pointer is, it's a skewer stick. What's interesting about all this is I first took the, let's see if I can bring this in just a little bit closer. Okay, now, yeah, we're doing Steadicam now. Woohoo! Alright, as you can see here, they went about this far in as far as depth goes. I took them by hand and gently punctured the polystyrene and gently turned and twisted, and the challenge was keeping them straight so they didn't look like they were going at a weird angle, but that did happen a couple of times, and oh well. And then I would take them out and I would use some tacky glue at the end and just stick them right in the prepared hole, and worked out pretty good. And then when I got done with that, I then took some, this is actually, it's not air dry clay, this is a DAP brand type of caulking material. It comes out of the tube a white color, off-white, whatever, and I just took it out of an actual jar with some stick and just kind of like placed it on, and then very gently I'd press on it and play with it as it would start to not really harden, but it would start getting tacky, and then it would retain the shape. And then once I got the shape that I wanted, I would then, you know, just use my thumb or my finger and just whisk it down to smooth it to where it would come to like a nice edge there, and then I would wipe off the rest. And then I just had to oh well, of course these were dry and they were in place. I didn't do it after I glued them in, that would have been crazy. And then I just retouched them all with thin black for a base coat. Now the towers, all the tower Merlons have these skewer sticks I was talking about. These I had to use a Dremel tool equivalent to actually bore into the polystyrene. I had to be very careful because obviously you can knock these off and do more damage than you want to. So that caused the polystyrene to fly a little bit, no big deal, and turned out pretty good. Of course, the same thing, I had to make sure they were going in straight, and I used tacky glue again, and after also base coating them all black. What I didn't tell you with the Raider spikes was that I colored the spikes themselves with a it's very hard to tell in the camera with the light and stuff. I used some wrought iron paint to offset the color so they weren't black on black, and I wanted them to you can see here with the cracks. I'm sorry, let me get some more light. Alright, as you can see here, it still has like that stone look, and I want it to look like they were somewhat thrusted in place. I mean, okay, per se, and that's how that turned out. Now, I had some problems with jabbing my fingers, so I decided to take a pair of scissors and cut off the very top so they're more of a blunt end. And believe it or not, the skewer sticks, I ran out of skewer sticks that had points on them. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? I didn't want to go out and buy more skewer sticks, and I had all these, you know, leftover pieces of skewer sticks. So once I knew what size to make these, I then took a simple penciling sharpening tool that fit this and just put them in, turn them, and ever so slightly got out a nice point. Now, they aren't as sharp as the original skewer sticks, but then again, I took a file and filed them, make sure that they were spiky but still a little bit on the blunt side, just to be sure. I didn't stick myself anyway, because you know how splinters are. Ouch. What I'm thinking in the future is to work on these arrow slits, give them some more detail to make them stand out a little bit more. I think they're a little bit too subtle with the brick pattern, stone block pattern, whatever. And I'm also thinking about adding another thin level to the tops of these parts in between the Merlons, because I feel like the Merlons are too high. And if you look at the figure, if you can see him there, well, he's actually at knee length with the top of this, and it's like, that's just too low. I think we're going to raise that up so it's probably about an eighth of an inch or so. It'll also give it more style, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments, and until the next time, bye. For more information on my craft, visit these sites and the links below, and remember, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and thank you, subscribers!